And now for more top stories, Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed deep concern over the escalating situation in the Middle East, calling it a matter of grave concern for India. Speaking alongside Canadian Prime Minister Carney, Modi reaffirmed India's commitment to peace and diplomacy. He assured that the government is closely monitoring the situation and coordinating with regional countries to safeguard Indian nationals. Carney also hailed the expansion of ties with India, noting that the engagement between the two countries had increased more in the past year than in the previous 2 decades combined. Let's listen to what the leaders had to say.
पश्चिम एशिया की वर्तमान स्थिति हमारे लिए गहरी चिंता का विषय है। भारत डायलॉग और डिप्लोमेसी के माध्यम से सभी विवादों का समाधान का समर्थन करता है। इस क्षेत्र में मौजूद सभी भारतीय नागरिकों की सुरक्षा के लिए हम सभी देशों के साथ मिलकर काम करते हैं।
There has been more engagement between the Canadian and Indian governments in the last year than there has been in more than 2 decades combined. This is not merely the renewal of a relationship. It is the expansion of a valued partnership with new ambition, focus, and foresight, a partnership between two confident countries charting our own course.
And now joining us is Ambassador Mahesh Sachdev, the former diplomat from New Delhi. Sir, what do you make of this relation between Canada and India, and how do you see it expanding in the near future? Please.
I think it's a welcome sign that the shift that the two countries had the last few years pertaining to assassination of Khalistani activists and last Canadian government's claim that Indian agents were involved, etc., without citing any evidence. That led to vitiation of atmospherics and the dependence on of the last government to a major pro-Khalistan Sikh party for survival also complicated things. As compared, Mr. Carney's government is quite independent and has clear sight with regard to economic and political collaboration with India. So that is all welcome. And I think India would also be happy to engage Canada in multiple strategic ways, including free trade, supply of uranium, and other areas of political convergence. Both of them, both Canadian Prime Minister are middle-level powers who need to collaborate to not to be on the menu, but be on the table, as Mr. Carney famously said at the Davos conference last month, 2 months ago. I think the transformation of bilateral ties has begun, and it is reasonable to be optimistic. Prime Minister Modi has himself put the target of $50 billion in bilateral trade between now and 2030, multiplying nearly 5 times from today's figures. So that is an important benchmark to follow. And that can happen because if the free trade agreement between the two sides is signed, if India decides to partake uranium as well as other energy resources such as petroleum and gas from Canada, a lot can happen. Investments in India by the Canadian pension funds, etc., have already reached the level of $100 billion, and this can go much further. Uh, Canadians are trying to diversify their options away from unpredictable Trump administration-led United States, which has...
Yes, sir. I'm so sorry. I do have to interrupt you. We're running out of time. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Now, for more top stories, a massive Ukrainian drone attack hit Novorossiysk overnight, injuring 5 people and damaging 20 buildings, including residential tower blocks and kindergartens. The Russian Defense Ministry reported downing 172 drones, with most intercepted over the Black Sea and Krasnodar region. The governor of Krasnodar declared a state of emergency following the strike, which heavily targeted Novorossiysk's home to a key port and naval base. Drone debris fell on a grain terminal, but no damage was reported. And next up, Nepal's interim Prime Minister Sushila Karki has urged citizens to vote in the upcoming elections, scheduled for March 5th, 2026. This election marks the first post-protest poll since the September 2025 uprising, which claimed at least 77 lives. Karki called for peace and harmony during the election season, stressing that voter participation is essential for the country's political stability and prosperity. She also confirmed that the Election Commission has completed preparations to conduct a fair and fearless election. Karki appealed to the nation to maintain calm and exercise their right to vote. Let's listen in to what the Prime Minister of Nepal had to say.
मेरो पहिलो आग्रह तपाईं मतदाताहरूसँग छ। देशलाई राजनीतिक स्थायित्व र समृद्धिको मार्गमा अघि बढाउनका लागि सबै मतदाता आगामी निर्वाचनमा सरिक भइदिनुहोस्। त्यो बिहीबारका दिन अरू काम छाडेरै भए पनि आफ्नो मतदान केन्द्रमा पुगेर मतदान गर्नुहुन म हार्दिक अपिल गर्दछु। दोस्रो कुरा, निर्वाचनको यस सङ्घारमा म सबैलाई शान्ति र अमन चयन कायम राख्न अनुरोध गर्दछु। शान्ति नै नेपालको असली पहिचान हो। निर्वाचन आयोगले छोटो र कठिन समयमा कार्यतालिका बमोजिम सबै तयारी पूरा गरेको छ। निर्वाचन निष्पक्ष, स्वच्छ र भयरहित रूपमा सम्पन्न गर्न नेपाल सरकार र आयोग पूर्ण प्रतिबद्ध छन्। त्यो कठिन सङ्क्रमणलाई व्यवस्थापन गर्दै हिंसात्मक मोडबाट शान्तिपूर्ण निकासतर्फ देशलाई डोर्याउनु र संविधानको बाटोमा फर्काउनु हाम्रो।
Next up, Greenland's vote in Denmark's parliamentary election on March 24 will act as a gauge of Greenlanders' desire for independence, as conflicting views on the future relationship between the Arctic island and Copenhagen uncover political divisions that could present opportunities for U.S. President Donald Trump to capitalize on. According to reports, Greenland's governing coalition, led by Demokratiet, advocates a pragmatic, long-term path toward independence with Denmark as a key partner. The opposition Naleraq Party is pushing for a swift separation. Denmark's Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen has called the election in a bid to capitalize on rising domestic support for her firm rejection of U.S. pressure over Greenland, a stance that has drawn broad backing across the Danish political spectrum. Next up, MSC Cruises, a Swiss-Italian global cruise line based in Geneva, has confirmed that it is in active contact with embassies and foreign offices to ensure that they have relevant information regarding their nationals currently on board. The company is working to understand any repatriation plans being developed by these authorities. Additionally, MSC Cruises is following the guidance of regional U.S. military authorities, which has led to the decision to keep the MSC Euribria ship docked at the port of Dubai for the time being. Moreover, the company remains in close coordination with relevant authorities and is committed to keeping passengers informed as the situation unfolds. That's all we have time for. Keep watching NewsX World for more news updates from around the world.